All right, can everyone hear me today? I hope everyone's back from their lunch, so please come back. But anyways, hello everyone, my name is Mark Mee. I am a Director of Business Development here at Near Foundation, and I also lead the gaming sector and work closely within the Asia side just because I live in Asia as well. And so we have a very exciting panel today and would love for everyone to maybe introduce themselves. And why don't we start with Hannah at the end?
Hi guys, I'm Hannah. I'm the marketing director at MarbleX. So a brief intro on MarbleX. MarbleX is a gaming blockchain service company having its headquarters in Korea's #1 gaming publisher called Netmarble. So we mostly integrate our blockchain services to our own published games, but we're only integrating our blockchains to high-quality games, and that's what MarbleX does. Thanks.
Okay.
Hi, I'm HOON Lee, and I'm the co-founder of the Vortex Gaming. Vortex Gaming is the content-driven gamers community initiated by the company called Inven, which is based in Seoul, Korea. And Inven has been operating. Inven is the largest gamers community, like Web2 gamers community in Korea. And at the same time, we are the most influential game media in Korea too. So we've been operating Inven past 18 years. And the know-hows and knowledges that we acquired like past 18 years, we want to plug that into Web3 space. And Vortex Gaming is all about that. And Vortex Gaming is a new gaming-oriented social media that unifies Web2 and Web3 gaming contents and gamers all together in a single space.
Lastly, we have Scott from...
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Scott. I'm General Manager of Near Korea Hub. We launched last year around this time. It's been a year now since we run regional hubs of a Near Korea Hub, and we are very focused on bringing a lot of Web2 gaming companies, enterprises, to achieve a mass adoption. And I'm glad to have our onboarded partners such as Vortex Gaming and MarbleX. So we are closely working with our partners, making sure that they get brand awareness, they get the core marketing, and then they get support what we need. And then especially Korea Hub has a dev team, so we actually do provide tech support to our partners. I think that kind of differentiates from other chains that, that's how we onboard and work with our partners. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So yeah, really excited because today I think we have various angles bringing in kind of the view of kind of the Asia market, specifically within gaming, right? We have game developers, we have the game community, and we have someone focused on developing the Asia region, right? So, today's topic is how is Asia driving Web3 gaming? So why don't we start with that? Why don't we start with, what's the view on the current, gaming market, right, within Asia, and how has development kind of been driving? So who wants to, anyone? Scott, you want to talk a little bit more on just the Asia landscape and maybe kind of some background within how Asia has really been a leader within the driving gaming innovation?
Yeah. How many people here play games? Mobile games, anything? Console, PC? Yes. So Korea started around 1990 with the PC games, console games, and then I think around 2010, after iPhone launched, I think mobile gaming really kicked off. And some of the big names, from Korean gaming companies, Netmarble, Nexon, Neowiz, Krafton. So, I mean, we do have a lot of, many of the RPG games kind of create a hype and free-to-play model. And then Korean gaming companies are unique because they are very open to Web3. So Koreans are usually very fast at adopting new technologies and try with the blockchain, and then they actually around 2020, 2021, they started adopting or creating their platform, such as MarbleX. So I think Korean gamings are very bold on Web3, and I truly believe that mass adoption will come from the gaming. So I think we are way ahead of US. Actually, US has a big companies like Blizzard, EA Sports, but I think Korean gaming companies are more keen to try new things, making sure Web3 gamings are alive.
That's very complete. Thank you for that, Scott. Did Hannah or Jay want to talk a little bit about this?
Okay, I want to add in like few more points. Like being in the gaming industry for past 20 years, like I have seen the histories, like how it evolved. So evaluating the entire Asian gaming market, like outside of Korea, that's beyond my knowledge. But speaking of the Korean gaming market industry, Koreans, like we made a quite significant the contribution in the history of gaming. And innovation of Korean like gaming, like it can be divided into two different eras. In 2000s and 2010s. In 2000s, there was this emergence of the esports in Korea. And StarCraft and StarCraft 2 were the huge part of this. And professional players, like they have gained like celebrity status. And the game matches, like it were televised and drawing even more audiences. And it just became like one of the entertainment contents beloved by the entire country. And in 2000s, there was the emergence of PC online gaming as well. So Korean developers started making world-class games like Lineage, Ragnarok, and Maple Story. And going back to 2010s, like with the introduction of iPhone, the mobile game like became very popular. And the concept of free-to-play was introduced to the market. And while traditional game developers and gamers like didn't really like this change, like Korean developers and gamers like quickly adopted and embraced the mobile gaming market. So major Korean like game studios like entered into the mobile gaming market early on and made quite successful games. And in 2010s, like also, the Koreans are one of the pioneers in gacha, which has become a staple monetization mechanism in thousands of games. Now in 2020s, I feel that Korea is once again at the forefront of the Web3 gaming.
Thank you for that. I think you definitely kind of went into more of the next question that I was going to ask as well is, how has Korea led? But maybe taking a step back in terms of overall Asia, I think, gaming has always driven a lot of innovation and has attracted a lot of growing talent to build and develop within Asia. You have the markets within Korea, you have markets within Japan, you have markets within China that has spent a lot of time to develop, to these really strong studios. And other countries within the region also has a very strong retail market and users to play the games. And that's why I think it's such an interesting and very big scope within a lot of the funds, the gaming funds that are looking to develop and invest in it, right? And so, Hannah, did you have anything else to add in terms of maybe either the Asia market or even just specifically the Korea market?
I'll be a bit more general. As these two have highlighted only Korea, I'll be a bit more general on the whole of Asia. So Japan started a new trend in console gaming with huge companies like Nintendo, Sega, and Sony. Also brought a new trend to arcade gaming in the 70s and 80s, bringing big mega hit games like Pac-Man and Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that. Korea has been made gaming an actual sports by bringing the birth of esports gaming, free-to-play games, unlike Western countries, a new trend to mobile gaming. That's what we do in MarbleX and Netmarble, and such other things like that. But I think Asia's growth, it's not ending just here. It's only starting now. So I think everyone should keep looking forward to the APAC region's gaming industry and, look forward to that.
So that's a great segue, right? We always say, is it too late? Obviously, I think what Hannah is saying, it's still early within gaming, at least Web3 gaming, and that's something that I actually truly do believe. We have so many good titles developing, and we haven't really seen one that's a sustainable model to grow and develop yet. So I think, this is NearCon. We're here to talk about blockchain and crypto and how that relates. And so maybe let's segue from gaming's general market to actually the Web3 side, right? And maybe Scott could start. What do you think in terms of where we are at in terms of the Web3 gaming, and kind of how does Asia or Korea specifically kind of accelerate that?
Yeah, I think it's very early. I talked to a lot of the CEOs from major gaming companies, and they even though they have a lot of users, conversion rate are usually from 10 to 20%. So the most problem is that general users or players of the Web2 gamings, they have such a barriers to enter into Web3 market because of login experience, creating a wallet or transferring their digital assets, working with the NFTs. So these are big hurdles, even they're experiencing it, as they create Web3 gaming. So I think that's where Near kind of comes in. We help them with the fast auth and some of the easy onboarding experiences. And we always tell them, look, it's very, Near is a high throughput, low cost, and it's one of the best platforms to launch your game. So I think it's been kind of proven to Korean market. And I think we are pushing more gaming companies, with the Vortex Gaming. Now we have a big community. Now we have a good IPs. So I think slowly, I think we are adopting into Web3 gaming.
So I love this. Clearly, Scott has done a lot of business development for Near in Korea, since he kind of has a lot of good selling points on the pros here. So maybe Hannah, can you talk a little bit more on why do you think Korea has been able to accelerate more of the Web3 gaming versus other markets, and obviously speak from within either the company, your company, or even just within the industry itself.
In Korea, gaming is taken a lot more seriously compared to other regions over the world. Like, for instance, I'm not sure you guys know what a PC bang means. It's a facility that Koreans have. It's a room. It's basically an internet cafe, but it's all over the place, more focused on gaming. It's normal for like a teenage boy to go spend time in these PC bangs for about 8 hours a day, not even talking to their girlfriend, and that's one of the reasons they always get into a fight, because they play too much games. It's normal for teenage boys to wanting to take gaming as a real career, and the governments support that in Korea. And that's why I think Korea has been accelerating in gaming and also Web3 gaming.
So I think you hit on a point right there, which is culture, right? I think culture historically seems like the Korean entrepreneurs have been very willing in terms of to innovate, very willing to take risk and try new things to see if they can make it. And you can see this with kind of what Jay said earlier in terms of new business models with the free-to-play, and historically kind of what that's done, right? And so I find that to be very, very interesting. And maybe next we can step into more of maybe the Korea gaming community, right? And how that relates to I guess the developers in terms of building the games, right? So maybe Jay, maybe you want to talk a little bit more about the gaming community.
So definitely, Web3 gaming, it has gained interest and attention, but compared to other sectors of the gaming industry, it is not as established. But given that, Web3 gaming community is it's emerging and evolving in Korea, but it's just not there yet. But the dominant Web3 gaming community is currently absent. And just like any other countries, in Korean Web3 gaming the community is fragmented and scattered on Discord, Twitter, Telegrams. So that's where we want to kick in. Vortex Gaming, we want to kick into that area, and we want to make a breakthrough.
Mm-hmm. I think it's very, very interesting kind of what Vortex kind of is trying to achieve here. I mean, they're basically coming in, we have a few projects, for example, the top projects on here are building kind of these Web 2.5, right? Basically, already have a platform with millions of users and onboarding them to Web3, and in a way that's what Vortex is doing, right? They're utilizing the parent company, Invent, and seemingly kind of providing a new experience, new model, and really onboarding them to be able to provide, I guess, more value and engagement to their users. So, yeah, Scott, did you have anything to add within the kind of the Web3 gaming community and within Asia or just Korea?
Yeah. I think Jay explained it very well that it's kind of shame that we're still using Discord as a community platform. And I mean, Jay has experienced that Invent is one of the biggest gaming community in Korea and media. Their MAU is great. DAU, if you look at Invent's, the metrics, it's amazing. So I mean, they're trying to figure out how they can gather all these scattered and siloed communities into one, so the players or users can kind of make a social and then they can actually communicate within the one platform. I think that's the beauty of Vortex Gaming. And just to elaborate more, I think the Web3 gaming community should be the pillar and the core of our gaming, because it's the whole point about this blockchain is to communicate in a transparency manner. So I think Vortex Gaming, probably next year, I'm very bold that they're going to take the whole Web3 gaming community in Korea.
Awesome. So talking about Web3 gaming community, I think it's only fair to actually talk about how does that really work, right? A lot of questions we always get or ask as well is, why does it need to be on the blockchain, right? Like what does it really add value? Is it something that we need, right? And obviously, I would say I definitely put a lot of thought into this personally on how we can create value, why it's valuable. But I think especially these builders as well as Scott, definitely I guess question: why do you think how does blockchain fit, and then why would you utilize it and things like that? Hannah, can you?
Yeah, I think it's about the ownership and sharing the profits or revenue shares with the users. I think I used to play Lineage by NCSoft, and I think Korea loves playing RPG, but you are not really owning your items. It's companies. It belongs to companies, and you actually can trade this, buy and sell these gaming items through black market with gray market. But it's all about the transparency where gaming companies actually can take some revenues by charging them commissions, and they can actually bring that gray area into more brighter area, and then you're actually telling your users that look, each item is yours and it's in your wallet. I think it's all about giving back to users and then being transparent with users. So I think that's the whole point why they should definitely adopt blockchain.
Okay. Hannah, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think gaming is the next tipping point for blockchain mass adoption, just by sharing some of our KPIs. But before I go into that, why don't you guys search up some of our games onto your app stores, and then after you played it sometimes today, why don't you come find me and we can talk about this. So go to your app stores, let's search in Meta World My City, which is one of our most recent games, or you could do Ni no Kuni Crossworlds, Ninokuni, and then we could talk again. Well, I'll go through the KPIs. Ni no Kuni Crossworlds, it's a large MMORPG based on Studio Ghibli. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that studio from Japan. Studio Ghibli and Level 5's IP. So we have achieved a lot of KPIs just by integrating blockchain, because we had achieved #1 position in Google sales in Japan, Korea, and Taiwan. After blockchain integration, we achieved top 10 in Google sales in North America, which is huge for a APAC company like us. A3 is still alive. It's a MMORPG based on Battle Royale PvP content. After integrating blockchain, we actually increased users about 620%. And lastly, for Meta World My City, which is our most recent product. It's a Monopoly-based board game, metaverse game, which is really fun to play. It's one of my favorite. We achieved top Google sales in Taiwan, Korea, Thailand, Indonesia. Most of APAC was blockchain integration. So just by looking at our marvelous KPIs, you can see how blockchain and gaming are so compatible.
No, thank you for those actual case study examples. I wasn't actually sure that you're going to share that. I was going to go more with the theoretical. So, Jay, did you have anything else to add on that?
Yes, like I'm gonna share my opinion from the community's like perspectives.
Perfect.
I mean, obviously, like I'm in the Web3 business, so I think the blockchain is a perfect technology for, especially for games. And my personal conviction goes like even beyond that. Like I believe, like soon gamers will not like differentiate from Web2 games and Web3 games, and refer to them just as games. Like that is my conviction. And the problem right now in the market is that traditional gamers, like Web2 gamers, they rather like treat blockchain games as an investment vehicle, not as the genuine like means of enjoyment. That is the problem that we see like from the community angle. But I think this is natural. Like looking back to the past, like in 2000s, like when PC online was booming, and 2010s, like mobile game was booming, like there's always individuals with a negative view on like new developments. So I think this is perfectly natural. And like here we are, like 2023, like hardly anyone has negative perception on games, right? Especially mobile games, like it just became the integral part of our everyday life. So I think blockchain game, like Web3 gaming, is going through the exactly same process now. And a substantial number of gamers right now has a negative perception on, I mean, who haven't even tried like Web3 games, but they do have negative outlook on Web3 games. So like improving such negative perception is a key, and it's the mission of the Vortex Gaming. Like at Vortex Gaming at a higher level, like what we are trying to achieve is like we want to break down these psychological barriers, like the gamers trying like Web3 games. I think we like from our past experiences, like on the successfully building the Web2 gaming community in Korea, we believe the key to building like organic and sustainable gaming community, like it lies in contents. And so at Vortex Gaming, like we're gonna be unifying Web2 and Web3 gaming contents and gamers all together in a single space. And we're going to be continuously exposing users to the Web3 game contents. And we're going to be facilitating like communication between Web2 and Web3 users. And we believe that will be instrumental like to achieve our goal.
Okay. No, thank you for that. I think you hit on so many great points that, in this past year of looking within the gaming market and industry and following Web3 that you hit on, right? I think, I would say at last NearCon, everyone was still talking, a huge gap between Web2 gaming and Web3 gaming. And now it's not really about that. It's just generally about gaming, right? The market is so competitive. What are you trying to do? You're actually trying to create a game. Game developers are trying to create a game that people will play, right? And from there, then it's more of the features, the gameplay, how things are gamified and how blockchain fits into that. And I think it's pretty exciting that Jay hit on a lot of points, right? One is the negative, either connotation or the view of blockchain and how it's used. But, if we do it tastefully, if it makes sense, then I think there's really a strong opportunity to really have that first sustainable game that everyone plays because they like the IP, because they like the content. They onboard easily and they play it, and then they realize, oh man, you're already in Web3, right? You're utilizing the chain, and most of the people don't know it. So I do expect and hope to see something like that in the near future. Maybe the last part, since this is NearCon, would love to, for the projects themselves, maybe to speak about kind of their experiences in terms of, of Near, right? Near protocol, Near Foundation, the Near ecosystem. I mean, I know in terms of your guys' product development, you guys are, haven't really launched yet, but maybe you could speak to a little background on just your experiences and understanding of the tech or the ecosystem and things like that. Maybe we'll have Hannah. I want to start off with that.
It's been such a pleasure to work with the Near team. First of all, Near is one of the one of those Web3 companies that has a real mission, not only integrating blockchain to a lot of projects, they're really about linking real life and blockchain, which is one of MarbleX's KPI and roadmap. So that's why we're great partners. But in addition, among other Web3 projects, now Near Korea Hub has been amazing team to work with, because they have a real interest in the APAC market and the Asian market. They're very serious about linking the Western and the Eastern world in blockchain. And it's been such a pleasure to just work with Scott and Mark. And I see a few Korean Hub members here, and it's been such a pleasure.
I second that.
Got it. Then Scott, did you want to maybe talk about more on, we have a lot of builders here at NearCon, and maybe how Asian market can maybe work with them and kind of what the opportunities be. If you guys joined a little bit later, Scott leads our Korea hub. Obviously, gaming is not their only mandate and only focus, but that is something that they worked heavily on, just mainly due to the Korea market. So Scott, now that we have a little bit more people here, I would love for you to maybe talk a little bit more about maybe what the opportunities might be for you to kind of support and work with that.
Yeah, Korea is good at creating contents, IPs. If you look at Netflix, we have a lot of Korean drama series, movies, and we have a great builders. I think why Korea gaming is so strong, not only in the Asian market but globally, is that we have such strong builders. And on top of that, I think Near provides such a good, strong technical features such as fast DOS, meta transactions, and function call keys. Utilizing these, technical features, I think Korea should be really driving this Web3 global gaming in the global market. I'm glad that Japanese is opening up their market, and they have a lot of content and IP. Historically, they've been very known for the good gamings, and so when we match with their content and our builders and good companies like Netmarble, Vortex Gaming, I think we can certainly create a lead and take the lead in Web3 gaming market. So please come to the Vortex Gaming booth. They have a booth, and then we're going to be around the booth area, and then we would like to talk more about Korean gaming landscape, how we can help you guys to sort of make an introduction to Korean market.
Perfect. Okay. I think our time's about up, and why don't we do some last takeaways, or if there's any last points you guys wanted to bring up. Hannah, did you have anything else to add for?
Just as I mentioned, please look up our games. Talk to me if you're interested, because it's no other like other games. It's more of like a Web 2 game. If you play it, it's fast. You wouldn't see all the blockchain aspects in the front and the UI UX part. It's more in the background. So it's just like a real good quality game. So please come after you tried it.
Yeah, so I think I would add additionally to kind of more of the retail, the gamers, but also if you're a game studio, definitely should talk to Hannah as well, for more understanding of the Korea market or kind of the opportunities with them as well, right? Jay, did you have any last words to?
Yeah, just come talk to us, like at the ecosystem booth. We'll be there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for everyone's time. I want to thank our panelists kind of for coming up, taking out, talking, and sharing a little bit more about Asia. And thank you guys for sitting over here, and welcome. Hopefully you guys had a big lunch, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the first day of NearCon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.